Right then guys, how's it going? And welcome back to your football predictions, the series where you guys go up against me to see who can get the most correct scores from the weekend's football. Now, I did have a week off when the international break was on, and I was also busy last week, so it's been a few weeks since we did this, but those were my predictions last time round. I'm not going to go through them all because it was ages ago, but as always, I got no correct scores. It was nice to see Newcastle beat Spurs, mind. It feels like a lifetime ago when that happened. But anyway, as always, loads of you guys got involved, and I know I'm late to the party, but I did go through everyone's predictions, and two people got two correct scores, and they were Githua and Mr. Winnie Pooh. So well done to these two. I have subscribed to both of them and put their YouTube links down in the description. So make sure you guys go and check them out as well. And as always, we have some more games to go through from the upcoming weekend of football. I have picked 4 games, and we'll go through them now. I do normally post these videos on a Thursday night, and it's obviously Wednesday, and that is because this Friday we have a Premier League game, 8 o'clock, and it's Southampton taking on Bournemouth, so a bit of a South Coast derby. Both teams have started off the season pretty well. They're actually sitting one place between each other, with Southampton in 10th and Bournemouth in 9th, and they are both on 7 points. Both teams have won 2, drawn 1, and lost 2. And both of them won their most recent games. Southampton beat Sheffield United last weekend, and Bournemouth beat Everton at the weekend. So, yeah, I would say both teams have certainly started the season well. The fact that they're matching each other on points, it's very, very tight in the league at the minute. And both teams with 2 good wins. So I think this is setting up to be a pretty good game Friday night on the telly. Southampton obviously have the home advantage, but it's not like Bournemouth are having to travel very far to get there. Prediction wise, I've sat on the fence a little bit and I've gone 1-1. If I had to say, I would probably say Bournemouth have got a good team. Callum Wilson got some goals on the sheet at the weekend, which is very good for them. Fraser as well, he got on the score sheet. Southampton had a very good draw against Manchester United just a couple of weeks ago, so maybe they are picking up after not the greatest of starts. I'll stick with 1-1. Let me know what you think down below. Next up, Saturday game, 12:30 kickoff, we have Leicester taking on Spurs. So similar to the Southampton-Bournemouth game, Leicester are sitting in 5th, Spurs are sitting in 3rd. But again, both teams are on the same amount of points. Both teams are on 8 points. Both teams have won 2, drawn 2, and lost 1. So as I say, the league, I know it's early days, we're only 5 games in, but the league is so tight from top to bottom, to be honest. Leicester, I would say, have had a good start. You know, sitting in 5th place, I mean, if they could finish the season there, I'm sure they will be very happy. Most recent game, they did lose against Manchester United. I didn't watch the game, I saw a few highlights of it. I thought they did alright. It was a penalty that Manchester United won it on, which Rashford scored, so yeah, I would say they've had a good start of the season, and were unlucky against Manchester United. Spurs, I've wrote this down, I mentioned it at the start of the video, the only game they have lost so far was against Newcastle United, so I was happy about that one. But other than that, you know, draws against Man City and Arsenal, I think those are 2 very decent draws for them. And the 2 games they won were against Villa, and then most recently at the weekend when they went and beat Crystal Palace 4-0. Which was quite a comprehensive win. Prediction on this one, as I've said, both teams have matched each other points so far, how they're doing. Leicester have got the home advantage. Spurs obviously looked very good by scoring 4 goals past Crystal Palace, but I do think Leicester are a much stronger side. And I'm actually gone, I don't know, I've gone 2 on Leicester. When I was looking this over earlier, that's what I went for. Reading it back now, I'm not so sure, but hey, you never know. Let me know what you think down below. Moving on past the 3 o'clock kickoffs and onto the 5:30 kickoff on Saturday, where my team Newcastle are taking on Brighton. Newcastle currently sitting in 18th place, Brighton sitting in 16th place, with Newcastle just 1 point behind on 4 points, Brighton on 5 points. Newcastle, I mean, we've had a tough start of the season. I think that's fair to say. Sitting in 18th place, 4 points from 5 games, doesn't sound great. But in those 5 games, we have played Liverpool, Spurs and Arsenal. And I didn't expect us to get any points from them 3 games. We also played Norwich, which we lost. But we did draw against Watford and we actually beat Spurs. At the start of the season, if you told me you're going to lose against Liverpool, Spurs and Arsenal, but you'll beat Norwich and you'll draw with Watford, I'd go, that's probably about right. And then as it happens, we lost to Norwich but beat Spurs. So, yes, it's not looking great right now, but I think we've had a tough run of fixtures. And I do think this Brighton game is pretty important. I don't want to call it a relegation battle just yet because it's far too close to the start of the season, but if this game was near the end of the season, it would be a 6-pointer. So I do think it's an important game for both teams. Brighton started off the season really well by beating Watford first game, which I did not predict, to be fair. They then went on to draw against West Ham before losing against Southampton and Man City, and then drew again against Burnley at the weekend. So will Brighton be happy with that? I think those results are probably about right. Maybe they could have hoped for a bit more against Southampton, but obviously losing against Man City is no shame in that. But yeah, predictions. I've wrote it down. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I've gone 2-2. I'm hoping I'm wrong and that Newcastle win. I think at the minute we are still working out what we're doing. Joe Linton, Almiron, need to get St. Maximin in. Andy Carroll maybe. Is he fit this weekend? I'm not sure. But we're still just tweaking things at the minute. I thought we looked good against Liverpool, but obviously Liverpool are a really good side. If we can play like we did against Arsenal, I thought we played well against Arsenal and we lost that game. I thought we played well against Spurs. Obviously, I thought we played well against Liverpool. If we can play against like that against Brighton, I think we will win. But I think we've still got a couple of mistakes in us. 2-2. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we'll win. But let me know what you think down below. And to finish off on Sunday at 4:30, there are a few games on Sunday, but we are looking at the 4:30 game, which is Chelsea versus Liverpool. Chelsea currently sitting in 6th place, Liverpool sitting in 1st place. Chelsea have had a okay start to the season. Obviously, we knew it was going to be a different one for Chelsea this season. Frank Lampard's in charge. We've seen a lot of players like Tammy Abraham, who's actually done very well. Mount, who's done very well, but a lot of youngsters coming through due to their transfer ban. Started off the season badly with a 4-0 loss against Manchester United. Since then, they've drawn 2, they've won 2, most recently beating Wolves 5-2 at the weekend. So plenty of goals in that one. And then Liverpool. Not a whole lot to say other than they've played 5 games, they've won 5 games, and they're sitting top of the league. And they are 5 points ahead of Man City. So that's the perfect start for them. If they win 5 out of 5, the hope for them is that Man City don't win 5 out of 5, and they haven't. So if Liverpool can, well, win every game from now till the end of the season, then they'll win the league. I'll mention this as well, both teams actually played in the Champions League last night and both teams lost. So will that affect confidence moving at the weekend? Possibly, possibly not. For Chelsea, Mount picked up an injury in that game, so I've not checked any updates. Will he be right for Liverpool? I'm not sure. But in terms of a prediction, it's at Chelsea. As I've said, the youngsters are looking good for them. Obviously, it was a poor start against Manchester United. It will take a little bit of time for everyone to gel. They lost in the Champions League. Liverpool have won every Premier League game so far. And I mean, they are good. Even when Liverpool aren't playing great, the fact that they've got Salah and Mane They can just score from anywhere. So, prediction time. I've gone 3-2 Liverpool. I don't know. It could go either way. As I've said, Chelsea have got the home advantage, but Liverpool have won 5 out of 5. They don't struggle to score goals. Although Tammy Abraham has looked great for Chelsea, it's quite possible that he'll get 2, and then Salah and Mane will pick up 3. But again, let me know what you think down below. And that, guys, is where I'm going to end the video. Those are my predictions for the weekend up there. As I mentioned, we are including a Friday night game. So get your predictions down in the comments below. I will go through all of them before that Friday night game kicks off at 8 o'clock. So 7:45, I'll make a note of everyone's predictions and I will shout out the winner in next week's prediction video. Alright, yeah, get your predictions in down below. Let me know what you think the scores are going to be in those 4 games. Drop a like and subscribe for more Premier League predictions. But thank you for watching as always, and I'll catch you later.